machine is on the march again.
Leicester Fan TV presents a variety of content, live fan discussions, match analysis, and engaging with Leicester fans worldwide. We want your views live. Thanks to our sponsors, Everards, Barlow Blinds, Pukka Pies, Car Leasing, Distillers Direct, Hollogram, Take Me, Newby Co, and the Foxes, Arms and Rainbows. We are live in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome to Leicester Fan TV for another Foxes Focus show. It is Thursday, of course. The season is finished, so I thought we would do something that the club have already officially done, the end of season awards. But I thought we would have our own little take on it, have my views, Reedy's views, and everyone who's watching their views as well about player of the season, young player of the season, signing of the season, game of the season, all of this stuff. So get your comments in. Don't start putting your answers yet. We'll go through category by category, but do leave a comment. Let me know you're here, and yeah, we'll get right into the end of season Leicester City awards. So, hello. Like I said, leave a comment. Let me know you're here. Craig's already left a comment. Hi, Locks and all LCFC fans. Hi to you, Craig. Thanks for joining as usual every single week. As I said just before the video there, we're going to be doing an end of season awards type show where we start. We discuss between ourselves and people who are watching who we thought should have won the awards that were actually given out by the club. We're going to do some awards that the club didn't do also. We might have the same answers as the club's official awards. We'll have to see. But joining me is my co-host award, the deck to my I can't call it something deck because that was mine and Tom's thing. What can I call us? Maybe like a Philip Schofield and Holly Willoughby. No, let's not go there. Who's the Holly? Let's get Reedy in, mate. Hello.
Mate, I've got bigger tits, so it should be me. So.
I've got the bigger tits, mate. And we don't. No, I'm not going to say what I was going to say. Actually, yeah. Yeah. We don't do the thing.
No,
we don't do the things that Philip Schofield does. I was gonna say, but anyway, that aside, are we having an award for the best Leicester Fan TV presenter? Well, I wasn't going to.
Don't need to because it's already here. So
no, I wasn't going to. No, but if you want to leave your suggestion, then go for it, Andy Meadows, mate. Absolutely go for it.
I feel like I can guess who it's gonna be, but.
Yeah, it would be Jamie. Yeah, it would be Jamie. I think
it'd be either Jamie or Tom. I think everyone agrees with Tom in some way. Like if anything he says always seems to be.
I think it would be Jamie. I know who would be bottom, and it would be Reedy, but that's just because he doesn't host anything anymore. He's too much of a busy man. So
yeah, always busy, mate.
But it's definitely Jamie. It could be Tom. But again, Tom doesn't do it much, does he? So, here we go. We'll get this one out of the way now. Jamie is the best. Yeah, Graham B says Jamie as well. Yeah, so I think Jamie would win that award, absolutely. But anyway, let's get on to someone said, Phil, really? Wow. Reedy will pass on your comment.
I've met Dave Platts. You absolute little rat.
Why?
I've met him and he said I'm really good at shows.
Well, it wasn't going to be you. You don't do it. You don't host anymore, mate. Come on.
Yeah, but you wonder why I'm always everyone's co-partner because everyone wants me on. So
I didn't have a choice, mate. You told me you were coming on. Scarlett says Tom says it how the majority. Yeah, but me and Reedy are just sat here and everyone's saying everybody else apart from us. That's great.
You might as well just had the show here.
Yeah, we may as well. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? That's a good idea. See you in a bit. No, I'm joking. Right. Anyway, so let's get into the awards we said we were going to do. So, as I said, the Leicester City end of season, the official end of the season awards were done like 2 weeks ago, or no, a week ago, just before the Blackburn game. And you know, the winners, I don't think were a shock. There weren't any real shocks in there, but we're going to give our own. So let's start with the main one. I'm going to start with the main one first because I'm going to get onto some afterwards that weren't actually done officially. Player of the season. Now, Reedy, Kinnan Dewsbury Hall won Player of the Season, voted for by the players, and Player of the Season, voted for by the fans. Do you think is that who you're giving it to?
It's difficult because his stats say he deserves it. As in, like, if you look at stats, like say Harvey Barnes last year, he scored the most goals. I think he had the most assists as well. It just shows you that stats do mean something. But for me, if you watch him week in, week out, I think performance-wise, he don't deserve it. But again, stats alone says he does. For me, I'm gonna say Vestergaard because I think he's been a key component to how we played this season. Again, he knows how to pass the ball from the back line. If we didn't have him, I don't think we'd be anywhere near the position we're in. People could say there's many players you could probably say in this position, but for me, and this is why I want to sign him for next season. And I get it. It's not because I love him. It's more because in this style, he's like one of the most important components in this system.
Does Harry Winks deserve a shout for it?
Yeah,
Reedy?
I think. Yeah, I think he's probably maybe second or third favourite. I think for me, I'd say if it's not Vestergaard, it's going to be either Dewsbury or him because again, without him. But then you can say that about Ricardo as well, because obviously when he's been in games, we won the majority of the games that Ricardo's been in. So there's many players you could probably give it to. I'm just trying to think of if someone wasn't in that spot, would we have been in the same position? And if Dewsbury wasn't in that spot, I don't think it would have been that much of a difference in my eyes, just because of performances. Yes, he got the goals, but yeah. But for me, yeah, Vestergaard, I think if he wasn't there, I don't think we'd be creating anywhere near as much than what he would have been.
By the way, Andy Medhurst, I'm offended by this, mate. I'm offended. You could have put me fourth, and I still wouldn't have minded it. You can't put me behind me. Come on, Schofield. Yeah, I'll take the gopher. I'll take Gordon the Gopher. Well worth the 90 grand a week for 90 grand. I know, crazy that is, by the way. So you're going Dewsbury Hall, mate. No, Vestergaard. Who did you go for?
I'm gonna go Vestergaard.
Okay. I'm going Dewsbury Hall. I think it's I think you could give it to either of them. I think just for the numbers. There was an interesting discussion on everyone's favorite podcast, the Second Tier podcast. They said. Without Dewsbury Hall, Leicester wouldn't have got promoted this season. Now, I think it's a fair comment. Well, I think, yeah, exactly. I think it's a fair comment to make. I think if you took Ricardo out for all of the games, we wouldn't have gone up. I think if you took Vestergaard out, I think if you took out...
I think you could even say this about Hermanson, mate, because he's kept in a lot of games.
Yeah. I think Jakob would have done a job. But yeah. So, Dewsbury Hall really went for Vestergaard. A lot of the chat said Winks, so they're the three really that we've everyone's voted for really. Dewsbury Hall, Winks, and Vestergaard. Tom is happy with second place, so for the host of the season. On to young player of the season in real life. By the way, sorry, if you didn't cheat, you wouldn't have got up MOT. And by the way, Sam, just to let you know, Leicester City haven't actually cheated this season. I don't know if you knew this.
If anything, they cheated when they played against us at their ground when they should have been 2-0 down. But
because of the Dakar, yeah. And I will also say when Leeds don't go up this season.
And I'm going to point again. And the chance where you scored the winner against Middlesbrough when you were back 5 yards offside. But
don't forget the Bamford handball for a goal as well at some.
Actually, yeah, just Yeah.
But
Just take
anyway,
those
I'm not even
ballers
thinking
for
about
you.
that. Football aside, by the way, Sam, I don't know if you knew this, mate. If Leeds don't go up, which they won't, then you're going to have big problems next season. I
We'll
wouldn't
buy
go
some
around
of
calling
them.
people cheats. Yeah, I wouldn't go around calling people cheats just yet, because you may well break it. Not this year, but maybe next year, because you're not making any transfer profit this summer, are you? Because everyone's going out on loan. Everyone's going out on loan again because your loan clauses kick back in. I know you're winding me up, Sam. I know you're winding me up. But yeah, dirty Leeds, cheating, all of that. We cheat off the pitch. You cheat on the pitch. I'd rather cheat off the pitch than on the pitch. Right, young player of the season, Reedy. Fatawu, Abdul Fatawu won that one in real life. Again, I can't really argue with it too much. The other candidates, I suppose you could maybe throw suggestions for Casey McAteer for the first half of the season. Chill out. Who else? Is there anyone else you can really use? I mean, Hermanson. How old's Hermanson? How old is Hermanson?
I'm gonna
Let's
have a look right now.
You
Go
have a
on,
look.
you have a look. Oh, I'll do it then.
No, I'll have a look. No. He's 23, so I still think
It does count. It does count because young players 23 and under.
Yeah, so Fatawu or Hermanson for me. Have you got any other suggestions?
I think maybe you could have a call for Callum Doyle, but that's more. He was in and out, so I don't think you could really give it. But yeah, I think it's out of them too.
Yeah, I think Hermanson's an interesting one. Maybe Hermanson didn't meet the threshold for the Leicester City Awards. Maybe the Leicester City's awards is a bit lower than 23. But although Dewsbury Hall won it, didn't he? One time, maybe he was. I can't remember. Anyway, but Fatawu won it officially. We're in agreement, right? Let me know in the chat if you're also in agreement. For me, Fatawu deserves it.
Well, mate, he's been a clear winner for that easily.
Lee Clayton says Fatawu all day long. Bobber says Fatawu loses points for making us listen to Vula Vu so bloody often. Craig Gilbert says Fatawu. Yeah. Scarlett says Fatawu, sign him up now. I think we're in the process of doing it. We'll break more rules by doing it just for Sam. There we go. We'll spend 15 million on Fatawu, Sam, just to wind you lot up. Goal of the season. Now, goal of the season was won by James Justin, mate, for his goal versus Cardiff. I'm struggling to look past it. I think you've got other shouts for Fatawu. Sorry, for Fatawu versus Bournemouth, for Fatawu even versus Southampton. You've got Winks versus QPR, big goal. I loved the Dewsbury Hall goal versus Coventry just because it was the first game. It was a winner. It was our first game back in the Championship after so long. That's more on the kind of moment rather than the actual goal. But what about you? Are you giving it James Justin?
Mate, the moment you said about goal season, I'm trying to think of all the goals we've scored.
Oh, that was a good team goal. That was very good. Yeah, that was very good.
I think the one that comes to mind, and because of how big the goal was the QPR goal for Winks. I think that was the one where it was like last second, it came out of nowhere, and he's just scored an absolute banger to win the game. And yeah, I think that it was imprinted in my mind out of everyone. But yeah, the JJ one was good. Was it against? Who was that against? Swansea?
Cardiff, JJ, the one that won it.
Oh, was it Cardiff? Yeah. Cardiff and Swansea right next to each other right now. So yeah, I'm gonna have to give it to Winks against QPR. I think it's just
you had the goal against West Brom as well. Do you remember where?
Well, you nearly missed that one, mate. You nearly missed that one. I'm not giving it because he nearly missed it. Another
shout for KDH versus Cov. Yeah, I did love that because it to me, really, I don't know. But I know it was a long time ago, mate. But like, I think I was sat near you for this game, but where Cav sits near you, didn't he? But it kind of felt because it was the first game back in the Championship. No one knew how we were going to play. We didn't play great. No one knew, and it was kind of everyone was a bit unsure on how we were going to do and how we were going to play and who was going to step up big. And we saw in preseason Dewsbury Hall was kind of the focal point in midfield for us, the attacking focal point. And for me, that game and that goal felt like like this is the guy that's going to be big for us this year. This is the guy that's going to score goals. That's how it felt to me at the time. That was his second of the game. So that was a big thing from Dewsbury, a big moment, I think. First game of the season, him stepping up like that.
Yeah, I mean, it was difficult because I think in that game, from what I can remember, I don't think we deserved to even win it. And I think it was just 2 moments from him, and then somehow we did win it. Because I'll say we went to that the 80th minute, wasn't it, or something like that. And it was just, I was like, we're just not going to get anything.
This was the time of the season where Reedy was saying after every game, we were lucky to win it. We were lucky to win.
No, we were though, because even like we were at that point. So from
9 wins in a row, you were saying.
All I can remember is Ellis Sims. Sorry, is it Ellis Sims? Yeah, he missed about 3 or 4 one-on-one good chances. Again, a lot of teams did that in that first 9, wins. So there was many times where we could have been 1-0 or 2-0 down. So it was quite fortunate. But like I say, that moment matters when KDH put that second goal in, and it completely changed the game. So I get what you mean, but I think I'd still have to give it to Wings.
Yeah, I'm going overall. I think I'll give it to James Justin, but I get the Winks shout. Okay, next one: performance of the season, the team performance of the season. Now, for me, this is an award that wasn't given out. I think we're at the end of the awards that we get. Yeah, we are. These are all made-up awards. Now, for me, maybe it's recency bias. But I'm going Southampton.
You're going to say Southampton, yeah.
I'm going to go Southampton. And maybe not tactically. Enzo, as we know, we've seen it in the media, the local media recently. Enzo hated that game. He hated our performance against Southampton because we didn't have the ball. But for me, Reedy, it was just the kind of, it was probably the moment, when we think back to 15-16, where Man City was the moment where it was like, we're actually going to do this. I don't think it was until the Southampton game where everyone went, "Oh, okay, we're going to do it."
Well, yeah, because obviously it was just
because even after the Norwich, the Norwich and Birmingham game that the games that we won, we then went and lost to Millwall and Plymouth, and it was like,
I can't all the hard work to just lose it.
Yeah. So no one knew how we were going to. I think a lot of people would have predicted a Southampton loss, if I'm honest, and we thumped them, mate. So. That's my one, but have you got any other suggestions that come to mind?
There's so many games. I mean, I'm trying to track back to all of them, but the one that really stuck into my memory would have been the Watford away, because I was there, and even on Leicester, the Twitter was posting saying about Leicester. The Leicester fans are like trying to get the team through it because we weren't the big favourites in that game. We weren't the greatest, but the performance and, like I say, the Ricardo goal, obviously I think that was the winning goal as well. Yeah. It all made it worth it, and in the end, it just felt so good to win that game because there was only a 1 goal in it. So it was so good to get through that game because, like I say, it weren't the best of games, but we grinded the performance out, which I guess, like you said, about the Southampton game, you probably would give it to that, but like you said, I think for more reasons, it's probably the recency biased.
Yep, fair enough. Other shouts: Birmingham away, Southampton. Someone reminded me as well. Yeah, the Southampton away game, mate. I forgot about that, but we thumped them there as well.
4-1, really well. So I missed the first 2 goals.
Oh yeah, because they were really early, weren't they? Yeah. I think when we scored the first 2, everyone was like 9-0, 9-0. A big shout as well, by the way. This one, 80-minute. The Leeds game, we played really well. I mean, you were there. I'm assuming, Reedy. Great. We
dominated them away. We dominated.
Oh, we schooled them. Yeah, we schooled them. We should have won 1-2, 3-0, but we didn't. And but it's all good. We had the last laugh. So
Stacker's fault.
Yeah. Well. Callum Barnes says QPR. We don't need to think about that anymore. QPR away. Somebody said. So yeah. QPR away. I don't think it was. That was the Winks one, wasn't it? Where we just about won. But I suppose tactically, yeah. There's 2 ways of looking at games. Exciting thing, this has been the discussion all season about Enzo Ball. You've got a tactically perfect game of football. We've had many of them this season, but then you think more about the exciting ones. And the Southampton.
You'd maybe say Stoke away, 5-0 again.
Yeah, that was brilliant.
There's been ones where the scoreline's been high, but maybe not the best performance because again
that Plymouth game where we scored 3 or 4 in the second half. 4 in the second
Yeah,
half, was it?
it was 3. I think it was
Plymouth at home?
3
3?
in about 5 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. There we go. Somebody said it, Nicholas, Plymouth home. Yeah. All right, on to the next one. Individual performance of the season. This one's a bit more difficult, trying to remember individual performances. I'm going for...
I know. Can I say mine first?
Go on, yeah, you give me yours.
Winks versus Norwich.
Yes.
Because he had 100% completion rate. You can't stop that. And ever since then, I feel like he's always wanted to try and keep that in any game he can do. But obviously, recently he's not obviously done it. But yeah, alone, you just got to think of that and just think it was incredible, that game.
Yeah, I hear you, mate. I think it's a fair point. I think a lot of people will agree. This is one that I knew was going to come up as well. Fatawu in that home game. I mean, he got 3 goals, 2 assists, 5 goal contributions in one game. You know, that's crazy, really. I mean, we won 5-0, and he contributed to all 5. Hamza versus West Brom is a shout as well.
Yeah.
I'm going for the one that I spoke about earlier. And I'm just going to say Dewsbury Hall in that first game of the season against Coventry. This was a good one as well. Mavadidi versus Southampton away. All good shouts. But I'm going for Dewsbury Hall at home on the first day of the season against Coventry because I just think it was really important to start the season with a win. And as I said, the whole thing around it, he stepped up. You know, James Maddison, we don't need that guy anymore. We've got Dewsbury Hall stepping up to the plate in the Championship. And that's it. What?
You said it. You're stepping up in the Championship. Yeah, now in the Premier League.
Yeah. Vestergaard versus Bristol at home. Somebody said. So yeah, they're all good shouts. But yeah, I'm going to go for Dewsbury Hall. Hamza goalkeeping performance of the season versus West Brom. Absolutely right. Signing of the season. Now, I'll allow loan players because I think he might win this. Although there are other shouts. It depends, you know, everyone in the chat watching, it's up to you guys who you want to.
Thing is, I'm going to say right now, I know who's going to get picked a lot, and that's Winks.
Fatawu. Oh, okay.
No,
Winks.
I think Winks is going to be the one that tries to get picked because he signed for a lot of money and he did what he had to do to keep it to get us up. But I don't. It's not mine.
There's different ways people could look at this award because you could go off just who has played the best. You could go off who scored the most goals. You could go off value for money, you know. For me, if you go for value for money, it's probably Hermansen. How much? 3 million, I believe. 3 million, I think. So. Something like that. A £3 million for a player that's played 46 games
for a 5-year contract,
maybe a little less. 5 years. He is going to get sold in a couple of years, whenever it is, for a lot of money. He will go. You know, I've seen talk online, mate. Could he be Edison's replacement for Man City in the future? Someone said.
Christ, might be a bit high to expect, but then again, I've said.
No, I'm not saying he is, but
I've said that about Fatu, saying he could be in like Champions League quality in the next couple of years, like Doku sort of style.
Yeah. But I've seen talk of it, and if Edison's, let's say, playing another 2 years, let's say 2-3 years, you don't know what level Hermansen's going to be at. So, regardless, for me, I'm going to go with Mads Hermansen's. People are saying Vestergaard. Oh yeah, Vestergaard. Yeah, new sign. People are saying Hermansen, Winks, Fatu. But yeah, who are you going with?
You took the words out of my mouth, mate. I'm going Hermansen. I think I could say 46 games from first coming in, and he's took us up, and I don't. He's obviously considered the least in the league as well. Fair play to him. You got to give it him again for 3 mil. It's a bargain. Like I say, a lot of people will say Fatu, but again, I think he's been one of the most important players this season. But for me, Hermansen, for price and for performances, he's got to be given it. And with having someone like Danny Ward in goal last season, and having like Iverson, or I know obviously now Jacobs come in a bit more, but yeah. There's no doubt about it.
It was obvious from day one, because I think when he first came into the club, the first player we were linked with who was the keeper? Was it? It went Bazunu. Who was it? Who was the ex-Man City goalkeeper? He was on loan somewhere.
It was the American guy, Stefan.
Yes, that's it. Stefan. Yeah, it was Stefan. So we were linked with Stefan from day one, and then it was quite obvious, okay, he wants a keeper. You know, I think Iverson came into our team at the end of last season, and he was a lot better than Danny Ward. And I think a lot of Leicester fans would have accepted Daniel Iverson in goal this season. But we went out and bought Hermansen, and yeah, like I said, 3 million quid. What is it with us and Danish goalkeepers? You know, we love them.
Mate, he's back up to her. It's back up to Schmeichel, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's learning. He's learning from him. He was, like I say, he's probably talking to him right now, or talking to whenever he's at the Danish squad, talking to him about it. And I bet all Schmeichel's always doing is just telling him everything, all the best with Leicester. So why not? Again, soon enough, when Schmeichel does retire, he will be the first choice again. So, and I'm already saying that he's easily Premier League quality. So.
Yep. And the final category, we've both gone with Hermansen, so we'll go with that. Hermansen is proper quality, will be here for a few years, but expect a hefty fee in the future once he enters his prime. Yeah, absolutely, because he is 23 years old. You know, goalkeeper prime 26, 27, something like that. Let's say 25, 26.
Or 37, like Manuel Neuer yesterday, who did a howler.
Yeah. Final category, I've gone with flop of the season. Now, I don't know if we should use this as signing flop or just flop as in general players at the club.
I'm so glad you brought this one up.
Let's go with both, mate. So let's just do signing flop first. Is that what you were getting excited for? Signing flop. I know what Reedy's going to say, and it's utter crap. What Reedy's going to say, it's crap, mate. But people will disagree with me on this one. Signing first. I see the comments. Signing flop first. For me, just for the minutes played, it has to be Connor Cody.
Oh, wow.
It has to be Cody.
Cannon.
Oh, yeah. Cannon's not a bad shout because he was a lot. He was 8 million as well, wasn't he? I'm saying Connor Cody just because at least Cannon is for the future. The fee, right? It's for the future. Cody, he's played a big part behind the scenes, I know, but on the pitch, he's barely played. He's probably played He's probably featured in 10 games, played 90 minutes of maybe 3 or 4. What do you mean? Am I feeling all right? Come on.
Oh, mate, I've just seen that name. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
All right. I'm changing the goalpost. I'm changing the goalpost. Now I'm saying a permanent signing, right? So yeah, permanent signing Cody because he hasn't played enough. I wanted Cody to play more. I know what you're all saying, guys. I wanted Cody to play more. But
I think if your goalposts change, I think flop of a signing flop would be Cassidy. Permanent signing
loans. Yeah.
Of the flop, I'd probably say Cannon because
I don't know, man. It's like if you sign, I don't know, because he wasn't ever expected to come in and score loads of goals, whereas Connor Cody did. We expected him to come in and play a lot of football. I know it's not his fault he didn't play because he got injured and then Enzo just left him out. But yeah, I hear what people are saying. I'm not saying Cody's crap, by the way, guys. I'm just saying
he's not done what he's basically all expected.
Well, he was 7 million quid, 7 million quid for someone who's played like 10 games, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, but yeah, Reedy, who is your answer? I know you've seen the Cassidy comment, so you want to say him now.
Well, it depends what we're talking about because we're talking about the actual flop of the season. Or we just talking
Let's talk signing first. Signing flop first. You said Cannon.
As in, you mean like permanent or loan or any of them?
Just go with any of them. I'm going Cassidy.
I'd probably say Cassidy for the signing that flops it. No, I think he's done all right this season. To be honest, for me, I think that gun's been decent. I think he would be a good squad player next year if we did go for him. I wouldn't be too annoyed if we did go for him. To be honest, we've seen him in the team. I wouldn't say you have to buy a new player if he's okay, and we've already seen what he can do. So for me, he's not the worst player to have as a backup.
Okay, now for flop of the season, just in general, so signings aside, let's go with signing side. Right, again, let's not go with Harry Suter because he's not played. He's not played. Let's go with someone who was featured regularly in the side, but just hasn't been that good. Now, guys, now you can start putting your Dakas in the chat because I saw them at the start. I want to have a think about this, so I'll let you go first.
Mavididi.
Oh my god. How, mate? Don't be stupid.
I'm not being stupid, mate. He's been the biggest flop. He scores, yeah. His stats there, as his stats are there. It's like Harvey Barnes last season. People said, oh, he was decent for his last season. Performance wise, Mavididi for me has been probably about 10 games good, 38 games average at best.
By the way, guys, Reedy has put someone who has 18 goal contributions this season. He's called him flop of the season. When others literally, when Iheanacho exists, mate, that's a joke. You can't call Mavididi flop of the season, mate. That is just ridiculous.
Well, who else?
Use your brain.
In this team, if you say your first 11, obviously that includes, for instance, Daka. If he does play, you've got who else you got? You can't put.
Do you think Patson Daka's had a better season than Mavididi? You think that?
Well, no, because I'm talking about players that have played majority of the games.
No, I'm just saying in and around the team, mate. Come on, in and around the team. I'm not saying just who started the most out of who started the most. I'm just saying in and around the team that featured quite a bit. Who was the flop of the season? It can't be Mavididi. It can't be.
But flop of the season feels like you expect them to do more than they did.
But did people not expect Daka to do more in the championship? For me, it's Iheanacho. It's Iheanacho for me. It's Iheanacho.
But then for me, how can he be a flop when he's barely played a game?
He played a lot early on. He played a lot.
Maybe a lot early on, but that was when we were winning games back to back to back to back to back.
That's when he should be scoring the most goals.
And I'm just gonna say here, people are all saying about I'm losing the plot and whatnot. Have people witnessed Mavididi home and away live at games? For me, He
steps up every now and then. He steps up
every now and then. Yeah,
every like
5 to 10 games.
Riyad Mahrez did that regularly.
And I said at that point that I wouldn't say flop, but he was very, very inconsistent and it wasn't good enough.
All right, mate. Iheanacho, 23 games, 5
that is
goals.
Mental.
23 games, 5 goals, 1 assist.
See, that for me, that's mental. I can't even remember him starting off about 10 of them.
It was the first half of the season he played.
Jay Evans says, I'm sorry, Jay. Jay Evans says, Steffi's class. What are you smoking? You can't put Mavididi in class in the same sentence, mate.
Oh, mate, come on.
You can't. You can't. Okay, then. I will compare Mavididi to Tamari Gray. That's all. That's what I'm saying. Because I've watched him in every game I've gone to, and 1 minute out of a 90-minute game, he's doing good. The rest of the time, he's just doing step over, lose the ball. If he did, yes, goals aside and assists aside, fair enough. But if he plays like Fatu does and gets the same amount of goals, I would say, wow, what a player.
Andy Medhurst, you can change your order now, mate, by the way, if you want. Reedy, you've already answered. I'm not even accepting your answer because I asked you a question and you said you agreed that Mavididi has had a better season than Daka and Iheanacho. So because of that, you can't call Mavididi flop of the season. I don't care what rep Daka had and Iheanacho had before the season. People expected them to score goals in this division. And yeah, they scored goals. I know Daka scored what?
I was going to say, he scored like 10 goals, isn't he? Yeah. For me, that's not the worst. That's not the worst with how many games he's played, isn't it?
No, but you've agreed that Mavididi's had a better season than Daka.
I'm saying no, but you're saying that I'm not calling it, like I'm not going to call Daka for having a soft season just because of the misses. People are just saying it because of his misses. That's the only reason people are saying Daka, because he's misses.
It's not,
not because of his performance, not because of how he's played. It is. People are literally saying Daka's name because of the amount of misses he's had. That's it.
So are you categorically now saying Mavadidi's flop of the season over the likes of Iheanacho and Daka? You think Mavadidi's flop of the season?
Well, I'm not. For me, I can't put Iheanacho even into the conversation because for me, he's better.
23
like,
games, 5 goals.
I get that, but I'm guessing some of them were substitution games, and some of them, yes, at the start of the season. But then I can't even remember him scoring, to be honest.
Yeah, I remember a few goals. He played 1,000 minutes of football. 1,000 minutes. And
That's
got
like
5 goals.
That's like 10 games, isn't it? Worth a minute.
Sorry, that's not. No, it's not 1,000 minutes. Sorry, that was somebody else. That was.
I get people's reasoning why it's Daka or like Iheanacho, but like I say, I can't put Iheanacho into the conversation because he's not really played the full season in a way. For me, Mavadidi has played a full season. That's why I'm gonna put his name down there. Daka's not played the full season. Mavadidi's played the whole season, near enough. Other than the first 4 or 5 games when Marcel was in.
Mate,
it's my opinion, isn't it? So people. Are
I know,
no,
fair. I'll accept your opinion, but I'm sorry, you are wrong. Mavadidi has not been flop of the season.
Okay, then.
Mate, come on. Not one person has agreed. Not one person. Like, normally one agrees. Normally, with some of your takes, normally one agrees. No one is agreeing with you on this one. No one.
Okay, the amount. How many times have you said Mavadidi needs dropping?
A lot, but I've said it more about Nacho and Daka. That's for sure.
Iheanacho, yeah, because he's never really seen a lot of day in the squad the last 20, 30 games.
Yeah, he's been dropped. Yeah, he's been dropped the last 6 months. But Daka, the only one I will allow.
Daka's been put in because Vardy's been put in here and there and not been able to play at all the games because he's getting old. So that's why. Not because we've said we have to drop Daka, because he's had to play games because Vardy hasn't been fit enough to beat starting. That's all.
Yeah. No, fair enough, mate. Fair enough. I can't get my head around not.
If he didn't have the goals, you'd say he's flop. But then again, it's going to be all down to goals.
What did Max Verstappen say? Yes, I know you're not a Formula 1 fan, but what did Max Verstappen say? He said, if my mum had balls, she'd be my dad. You know, if Mavadidi didn't score goals, he'd be a flop. Well, yeah, he would, but he's got the goals and he's got the assists.
Say your name, mate, and let's get over it because it's already running over the show.
I know. For me, flop of the season is Kelechi Iheanacho. It has to be, yeah, it has to be for me. I think weirdly, he probably suits Enzo Ball on paper more than any of the strikers at the club in terms of being able to have the ball at his feet. But he just didn't get. I mean, he 5 goals, 1 assist. You know, I think if you said to any championship team, even Leeds, even Southampton, do you want Iheanacho in your squad? They'd say absolutely, yeah. Give him. You know, I'll take Iheanacho in the squad. And we had the pleasure of having him. And look, you know, there's talk on Twitter today. By the way, there's a discussion happening right now on Twitter. If you go over to Twitter and search Iheanacho, there's a discussion whether he's a club legend or not, which I find yeah.
He's more of a club legend from Man City.
I think that Iheanacho definitely gets disrespected for his time in the Premier League more than he should have. I think he carried us he carried us to an FA Cup final, by the way. He carried us to the FA Cup final. That whole season when Vardy had his hernia, Vardy went out, he scored more goals than any other player in Europe for those 3 or 4 months. But, you know, he started the next season and Brendan Rodgers dropped him. He didn't play him the start of the next season. And I think that was the point where Iheanacho probably thought, fuck this. You know what I mean? You know, the form of his life and as soon as the season starts, he gets left in the cold again. So, unfortunately, he's going to be remembered as one of them players that suffered from the Jamie Vardy curse. You know, no striker is able to come into a Leicester side and consistently keep their place so long as Jamie Vardy is on the bench. And the reason for that is because Jamie Vardy is loved by every single person in the club. And as soon as a striker has one bad game, it's get Vardy in. And, you know, you got to respect it, I suppose. But I think that's why Iheanacho struggled. Same with Daka at times, and same with others before him. So Slimani didn't really get a fair shout. I know he wasn't amazing, but he didn't really get a fair shout because it was always Vardy coming in. So, yeah. Anyway, that's the end of the season awards. The end of the season awards. Thanks for getting the end of the show. Thanks for getting your comments in. The season we won the FA Cup, he was the main man. Yeah, he was absolutely. He had one stretch for us, which was brilliant, but nothing since. And in the wise words of Jamie Vardy, it's up to John Rudkin. Yeah, Iheanacho will definitely not be a Leicester City player come July. That's for sure. Reedy, what's going on Leicester Fan TV over the next few days?
Just Jamie show, I think. No watch alongs is though. Unless somebody wants to do the watch along for the Leeds playoff.
Oh, that's tempting.
That's tempting. Get Joe on.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I think it's just Jamie's show and then Phil's Monday show. I think throughout the summer we might be starting to do some more podcasty things, so hopefully that can come into the summer. But make sure you check out them. But that's not 100%. But while the football's for an off season, we're gonna think of some things to do. So,
and I am happy to say, people who used to watch my show back in COVID times will remember the Come On You Fox quiz. It is returning in a slightly different format. We will be having on other fellow. How does Mike know about the Fox? That was quick. How does he know about that? How do you know about that, Mike? How do you know about the Fox quiz? The Come On You Fox quiz is coming back in a different format. We're going to be getting fellow Leicester City content creators on to basically go head to head and put their knowledge to the test against each other. The first guest will be, if anybody watches or listens to the Big Strong Leicester Boys podcast, which is a great podcast, Rick Flair. That's not his real name, but yeah, Rick Flair from there will be on the first. It won't be live, it'll be recorded, it will be going on the channel soon, so keep your eyes peeled for that. And yeah, that's it. So I'm off to go and beat Reedy in a game of FIFA and make him cry. I might even put Mavididi in my team and make it a little bit worse. So there we go.
Thanks for watching Leicester Fan TV. Thanks to our sponsors, Everards, Barlow Blinds, Pukka Pies, Car Leasing, Distillers Direct, Hollogram, Take Me, Newby Co, The Fox's Arms and Rainbows. Run by the fans, for the fans. Follow us on socials at Leicester Fan TV and visit leicesterfantv.com for all the latest news, views and videos.